Hey everybody, this is Doa, and I wanted to talk about Buggy again. That's right, because OP10 is out, so it's time to update the deck, time to give it a try one more time. I'm going to be taking Buggy to my next local, so hopefully I'll get some good games recorded for you for that. Hopefully they aren't just all completely humiliating, but we'll see what happens. Either way, this was Buggy 1.0, so this is '09 Buggy on the screen right now, and I wanted to talk a little bit about how this deck performed going into the new deck list that I'm going to show and then go through, just so you can kind of have a basis of where we started from. So obviously, Buggy in OP10 wasn't the strongest list, and the idea here isn't to give you like a world beater list. It's to give you a list that is fun, that can win at locals, that you can play if you like the character and the leader and all that kind of stuff. So this was the first list. To kind of get where we're coming from, we have to start with Buggy himself, right? As a leader, he has the ability of activate main. You may rest 5 Dawn cards and trash 1 card from your hand. Play up to 1 cross-guild type character from your hand. So essentially, we can cheat out strong cards for 5 Dawn and a card from hand. So what does that tell us? That tells us that we need to be able to draw cards, right? Because it costs us a card from our hand to use this ability. And we need to get 5 Dawn safely, obviously. And we want to look for things that once we put them down, they are likely to cause a problem for our opponent. So the first list was kind of based around that. It's kind of just all the cross-guild stuff and then a little bit of card draw support. So you had like Marguerite in there for blocking and card draw. You had things like Kaya for filtering and another 2K. You had 4 Pilafs. And then on the top end, I couldn't decide what Kaido to put in, so I just put in 1 of each. And honestly, like, this list performed okay. I did end up going, like, 2-2 at a local, which felt pretty good for an '09 Buggy list. I think I beat a Teach, and I can't remember what else I beat. I put some of the games up on the channel a while ago. You can probably go find those, I guess. But it was really fun. I will give it that. It was fun, right? And we had the pudding in there as well, just to kind of cause some hand disruption. But now that we've got OP10 out, we've got the promo out as well, we've got some more things we can try here. So let's jump into it. Let's take a look at the new list. Again, I'll say the first list performed pretty well. It flowed well. It was fun to play, and so I think it's only going to get better with the new list now, where this list, I think, and this is, again, my prototype Buggy list for OP10, so subject to change, but I think this is, at the very least, a good place to start from if you're looking at building the leader, if you want to have some fun with Buggy, because, again, it is a really fun leader. This is a really fun deck, and I think it can get better from here, too, but this is just my prototype version that we're going to look through today. So, again, keeping everything in mind that we talked about from the OP10 version, let's take a look at it. So we looked at the leader already, and let's just go through the list. Let's see. So here is Mr. 3 Galdino. So this is just our searcher, right? I know there's a searcher event. I don't feel like we really need that searcher event that much because we also have a little bit of card draw coming in from other places. And you're just going to have a lot of cross-guild stuff anyway, and most of the cross-guild stuff you play is going to be pretty decent. There are obviously specific combos that you're going to be looking for that we're going to go into later. But as far as searchers go, I feel fairly confident that I only need the 4 Mr. 3s. And again, we'll see how the list plays out, but I feel pretty good about it. It's only top 4 cards, so it's a little bit less great, but it does let you grab a card with Baroque Works, too. So it says reveal up to 1 cross-guild type card or a card with type including Baroque Works. So he is a flexible searcher, too. So I think that's why they limit it to 4, because he does have that flexibility that some other searchers don't have. Also a 1K, so hooray. And also, honestly, 2K power is not bad for just swinging into your opponent's searchers, too. We've got Marguerite. I still want to include 2 of her in the list just because it's nice to have that early blocker, and it's nice to have the card draw. No counter on her, so I think this is one of the cards that's kind of in the bubble spot where I'm going to feel it out, and if I need the blockers, I might keep her in. Otherwise, I might try to find some other better method of card draw here. No counter definitely hurts her a little bit, but she always did feel good to play, and she always is a Jozu target, too, so as far as something to bounce back to your hand. Moving on, here's one of our new cards from OP10. I think this looks really, really good for our list, actually. This Sabo, it's a 2K, first of all. It's a 5K swing once you get it on the board, costs 4. Obviously, you can't cheat it out with the Buggy ability, but that's fine. You're going to have lots of turns where you have extra Dawn to use stuff on. And it says, if your character with a base cost of 7 or less other than Sabo would be removed from the field by your opponent's effect, you may return this character to the owner's hand instead. So that does a great job of protecting our big Buggy cards, right? Protects our 7-drop promo Buggy, which is kind of the highlight of the deck right now. It protects our Mihawks, right? From being removed. It protects our Alvitas from getting like nullified and removed or something like that. So I think this card just has so much going for it, right? It's a 2K, which is awesome. We get to just have a higher value 2K that is actually playable. It's a 5K swing, which is a great place to start from. It's a threat when it's on the board. And it's there, to just kind of leave active and protect some of your other bigger cards when you get to that point in the game. So I think this is a great addition to the deck. I'm going to try running 4 of them. We'll see how it goes. Not cross-skilled, but who cares? I think this new Sabo is pretty awesome. All right, then on to some of the cross-skilled stuff. We've got Kabaji. Sure, he can be protected sometimes if you have Buggy or Moji out, can't be KO'd in battle. That does become relevant every once in a while. There are games where Kabaji just becomes the first thing you drop. He is a 2K counter, though, mostly, and that's mostly what we use him for is 2K countering. But he has some playable relevancy, which is nice for a 2K. You can't always expect that, Moji, we're not running any Richie at all. He's just in there as a 2K. I'd love to get rid of him, but for now we've got 2 in the list. Again, just to kind of fill out our 2Ks, we're running 10 2Ks at the moment, and that's going to be where I start with this list, and we'll see if we need more or less down the road. But I could see Moji getting cut. Either way, at least he's a 5K swing. Moving on to Alvida, one of the more fun cards in the Cross Guild set. 6K swing, which is great. On KO, if your leader has a Cross Guild type, play up to 1 character card with a cost of 5 or less, other than Alvida from your hand. So that is our 7K Mr. Ones that we're going to look at in a second. That's Kabaji and that's Moji, but it can also be like a Sabo, right? Because you don't need to play a cross guild character with Alvida. You can play any character that has 5 or less, right? Aside from Alvida. So she is flexible. You can even use her to throw down like a Marguerite for a blocker and a card draw if you need her. So I think she's definitely one of the better cards out there. And again, just having a 6K swing, which is nice because, again, you can like swing and then be like, well, if she gets KO'd, I'll just get to replace her in most games. So she's performed well in the games I played in OP10 too. So definitely a good one. And we've got 4 Mr. Ones, Das Bones, just a 7K for 5. Always nice to just throw it on with your first Buggy ability. But he is also really, really nice to cheat out with like your Crocodiles and your promo Buggies later, which we'll take a look at. So again, 7K swing is mostly the reason he's in here. He has no text, but he doesn't need it because he hits hard, right? One of our many 7Ks. We actually do have kind of a high quick top end, and what you'll notice when you play Buggy is you do have a lot of games where you get to bounce their stuff and also develop a board of 7Ks pretty quickly in a lot of games. And then we have our Mihawk, which is 6 for a 7K blocker. On play, draw 2 cards and trash 1, so he fulfills that kind of need that Buggy has in terms of card draw, and a little bit of filtering in there is great as well. He's an SR for a reason. No counter, but who cares? Great card. And he's kind of the primary one you want to try to cheat out with the promo Buggy that we'll get to in a second here. Jozu, I believe I was running 4 before. Let me double check. Was I running 4? Yeah, I was running 4 before. Bouncing things to hands is nice conditionally, but the requirement of returning a card, combined with the fact that bouncing, I feel like isn't as great as it used to be because there's so many strong when plays. I've cut it down to 2. He is a 7K, so I think he does have a decent board impact. This might be a mistake. I might want to go back up to 4 again, but I'm going to try it with 2 for now because I just think there's better stuff we want to put in our deck right now. So just 2 Jozus at the moment, but still obviously a blue all-star. We've got Crocodile, 7 for a 7K. On play, play up to 1 cross-guild type character card or character card with a type including Baroque Works with a cost of 5 or less from your hand. So this is used mostly to get out, like a Das Bones or an Alvida or something like that, just to kind of flood the board with bigger bodies. I would really love to find more Baroque Works specific characters to include in this list without diluting the Buggy cross-guild side of things too much. This is a card that demands a little bit more experimentation, but right now he's just in there to mostly just drop a Das Bones or an Alvida or something, right? Moving on to the promo Buggy. This is the card that everybody said, oh, once we have this, then Buggy is legit. And I think it does help a lot, right? Because the combo that you want to get to is to get to 5 Dawn, rest your 5 Dawn, cheat out this Buggy, right? It says it's a 7 for an 8k. This character cannot attack if your leader is Buggy. All cost 3 or 4 characters can't attack. That shuts down a lot of aggressive decks, obviously, and also a lot of decks that use that sort of like range of cost in the mid game to pressure your board, right? So it's a great card just from that alone. And then on play up to 1 6 or lower cross guild type character from your hand. The big thing there is that he can play the Mihawk, which is great. So you can establish this and a blocker. You can establish this and, again, Das Bones or Alvida. You can't cheat out the Crocodile. Crocodile 7. That's fine. You can't go Buggy Crocodile something else. That would be insane. But just being able to place this down and then place another strong character is great. And he has such a nice lockdown effect, too, that he obviously makes the deck very good in a lot of matchups. So that's why people were so excited about it. And that's why we're definitely running 4 of them. And also the fact that he is difficult to remove, both based on his higher cost, higher power, and the fact that he's never really rested unless your opponent rests him, right? He helps fulfilling the requirement for our 10 cost Buggy, right? 10 cost 12k. On play, place up to one of your opponent's characters at the bottom of their deck. Then, if you do not have 5 characters with a cost of 5 or more, place this character at the bottom of the owner's deck. So, having the promo Buggy out helps you maintain a bigger enough board to get your big Buggies to stick. Now, a lot of people are like afraid to cheat out this Buggy just as removal, and I think that's fine. If you need to do the rest 5 Dawn to play this just to get rid of a threat that's going to kill you, absolutely do that. You're going to have 4 of them in the deck. You're going to be drawing more anyway. Against Teach, this card is like a backbreaker, right? Because they turn off your when playeds, and you're like, fantastic. Thank you for my 5 cost 12k, because my text box is essentially blanked. It doesn't go anywhere, right? So you don't need those 5 costs, right? So he can be a very, very good card as both a removal event, so to speak, and then also as just a finisher, So definitely 4 of those. Now, we're going to get into the event side of things, and I've been really thinking a lot about what events I want to run in this. And I think there's a lot of good options to try, but here's where I've kind of settled for the moment anywhere. I'd say out of everything in the deck, this is the area that's most likely to change. But for now, we've got 2 Love Beams. Cost 2, of course, your leader, and up to one of your characters gains plus 4k power during this battle. Then draw 1 card if you have 3 or less cards in hand. You do often run into low hand sizes with Buggy, of course, by nature with his ability. You're going to be cheating out extra cards. You're going to be spending a card from hand to do that. So having something that can both protect you from a hit or one of your characters from a hit and also draw you a card in a lot of cases, I think is going to be good. I'm trying 2 of initially. This might go up to 4 of. We might go to more of a higher mid-range, slower Buggy build and just really try to go for that big board building win condition. But I think this one's going to be a good addition. And then Sanji's Pilaf, I was running 4 of these in my old list. I cut it down to 3 because you just don't want to be drawing these late game, right? You love to see it come out of life more than anything, but that this is a good card to play early in the game too, because sometimes you'll be just kind of sitting around until you have 5 Dawn to get your cross guild ability going with your leader. So why not just fill your hand up a little bit more? Go +1 cards. So I think it's good for that. That said, I didn't feel like I needed 4 of them after the games I played with the list, so I cut it down to 3. We'll see how it goes. And then 1 Gum Gum Red Rock. I do like this card. I don't know if it's worth putting more than 1 in. Maybe we go up to 2. It's great coming out of life. It's great coming out of hand, honestly, later in the game. But I think it's just a little bit less flexible and useful than the classic Gravity Blade Raging Tiger. I could see going up to like 3 of with this because you really do want to see at least 1 per game. And I feel like 2 ofs are like you're fairly likely to see 1 of per game, but 3 you're definitely going to see 1. So we're at 2 for now, mostly because I want to test a lot of things, but I could see this easily going up to 3, maybe even 4, honestly, just because bottom decking is so strong. So anyway, there's the list. I think it's going to be really, really fun. I think there's a lot of new tools for Buggy to sort of utilize, and like the event side of this deck is just wide open. I feel like there's a lot of things that you could try and that I will be trying going through over time here. But For now, this is what you're starting with. Let me know. Build it. Go play some games. Let me know how it does for you. Let me know if I'm crazy, including or not including a particular card in the comments as well. I'd love to hear your take on Buggy 2. Again, this isn't going to be a top of the meta leader, obviously, but I think the leader is a ton of fun. I think the deck is a lot of fun, and there's enough people out there making deck guides and everything for like the best stuff. I think we should pay attention to the worst stuff once in a while too, because it is also fun. And let's face it, most of us aren't trying to win worlds. Most of us are just playing at locals and having a good time, right? Watching the better players play on the stream. You know, that's where the joy is there on the competitive side. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the list. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. I have memberships now. I'm going to be working on those perks. So if you want to check that out, go for it. Always happy for the extra support. It means a lot to me. Otherwise, I'm just happy with you liking the video and leaving a like. So that's the same thing. I mean, watching the video and leaving a like. I'm not going to edit this. I'm just going to put it out like this. Enjoy. Have a good one. Go play some Buggy. Goodbye.